Hello everybody, if anyone's on here, I'm just testing this right now. Oh hey, we've got people on. Okay, I think we've got this working. Hi everybody. Now I've got my computer here, and if you can see that, I'm just trying to hook it up so I can actually read at the same time here. So should be able to go there soon, I would think. How's everybody doing out there today? Good. I'm just testing this out, and I'm going to see if I can do just a simple kind of instructional video for everybody so they can kind of see how I do it, and I'll kind of talk through it and just show you what I'm doing with it. So I don't know why I can't get my computer to work here. It was working yesterday, now it's not. Imagine that. Okay. I want to go live. That's what I'd like to do. So I can understand why my brother always has problems with these. These are sometimes don't work too great. Okay, so it's not wanting to... It goes to my Instagram page, but it does not let me watch the live, I don't think, unless this is it. Nope, it's completely something different. Yeah, I don't like Instagram very much. Obviously, I'm not very good at it, so I just don't know why it wouldn't turn on and whatever. Okay, I'm gonna put this up here. And get this started now. That should be good that everybody can see it. I'm right-handed. It look like my right hand? I think so. Okay, so bear with me, everybody. I'm going to start doing this right away so that you can see it and see what we're doing. And thank you for everybody that's on here. I can't read the comments for whatever reason. My Instagram is not loading up that I'm doing a live, so I can't see what is going on with it. So, okay. So anyway, this is how I start a canvas. It's completely dry. This one is 16 by 20. And what I usually do is if I want to start up in the cloud area and then like do mountains and work your way forward. So I have, it's called a white medium, and it's just basically, I'll try to show you guys the colors too. It's kind of just a little bit of white and thinned down a little bit so it gives your painting a little bit of movement, so when you put other colors on it, it's loose and it can move. And I really like to do the skies with it, but not so much where the mountains are going to be and where any of your trees are going to be, because it gets pretty wet. And then once it's really wet, you have kind of a hard, put a little bit into it. But you just want to try to put a real thin coat, and you can get this anywhere. Like I said, it's called a white medium, and that just is an undertone on your canvas so that you can move the paint around. And I'll show you what I mean. And I'm just using a 1-inch brush right now just to apply it on. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do, just a second. There's my color. I've got a phthalo blue and black. And these are both Bob Ross oils. You can use any kind of oil paint you want on it. But I'm going to put that on my palette. And like I said, today I'm just going to do a simple cloud and mountain, and probably like a little lake underneath the bottom of it. As you can see, I just squirted a little bit on. This is your blue, this is your black. And you can just mix it right onto your brush. See, just like this. And then what I do is I start up in the corners. Because usually in the colors you can see as it comes in. But as I move it in like this, I'm using strokes, I want a little bit more blue. And I just spread it across. And I try to leave some white in there because it will mix in with your color later. And as you come down, you can see it gets kind of lighter. I still have people on? Yep. Hi, everybody. If you just joined me, I'm just doing a sky right now. And I'm just trying to do a kind of a quick instructional video, and I'm going to try to learn how to do them really professional so that you can see the colors and use the colors. Right now I just have a phthalo blue and a black. And I'm just kind of mixing the colors to the top of the canvas here to get some color in. And I'm just using a 1-inch brush to do that. So you can smush it in any way you want to. They say to do X's, but you can see the different color variations that I have in here. You can use a 2-inch brush too, it'd probably be a little bit quicker. But now that I've got blue on here with my canvas right now, I'm just going to do a little bit of water in the bottom here. And the way I do that is I just kind of go across. Because eventually I want to have some water down here in the lake or whatever. So this is just giving you a background color. And I sure wish I could have got my computer to work, everybody. I would have liked to have seen what you guys are saying, but for some reason this thing does not want to show alive, so I don't know why. Still not. I don't know. Like I said, I don't really use Instagram that often, so. Okay. So what I'm going to do now, everybody, is I'm going to add some white. To my palette here. Well, that's not white. How about some more black? Just 1 second. Here we go. Okay. So as you can see, I just added some white paint here, and what I'll do is I have it's called a fan brush, and I'm just running my paint through here, and I'm just going to put some clouds on here. And the way that I do that is I don't let the clouds stop, I just keep moving the paint around. Wherever I think I want to have some clouds, as you can see, just put it in there. Jam it in wherever you want it to be. And don't worry about this later on if you guys want me to continue doing these instructional videos and not just with my brother. I'll try to do them a little bit more professional. This is the first time and I'm kind of testing out my new camera and all that stuff. So what I'm doing here is I got a little bit of white left in here. I'm just going to put this down in the water just to give you a little bit of different tone. Alright. Going back to my blue brush or my 1-inch brush, I'm just going to add a little bit more across here. Okay. Like I said, this is just background color, so you don't have to worry about that too much. Now the next move I'm going to do is, you see how we have these clouds? I got a clean new brush. This one's a 2-inch brush. Taking the top corner, I'm going to take out the bottoms of these clouds. It kind of blends it into the canvas. As you can see, it takes out the rough edges. Alright. And what you do is you kind of fluff up your clouds, how you like them to be with your brush. And then just go right across it. You can kind of see how that looks pretty good. And you can mess around with the clouds forever and ever. So if I wanted to, I could do a little bit more here, put a little bit more white. I'll show you again. And then just on the top part, I'm just going to kind of put a little bit of where I think I'd want them to stand out a little bit. All right, and then I'll go against my 2-inch brush again and just kind of lightly kind of touch out the bottom of it. And then just go right across the full canvas, and that kind of takes out your brush marks. Alright, so I think we got a sky. I think we got a pretty good chunk where the water's going to go. And now I'm going to show you how I make a mountain. Now, if any of you guys have seen me, I'm just going to look up here. Hi, guys. All right, it's showing that we are live and people are saying stuff, so that's good. Hi, everybody. All right, so what I do, this is called a knife, and it's just, there's different size knives. You can get a little bit bigger one if you're doing bigger canvases. You can see the different sizes. I'm going to use the smaller one because this is kind of a small canvas. It's 16 by 20. And what I do is I get a dark color together, and I've got some pretty good color on my palette right now that's dark. As you can see, like the colors that we have. This is some black, this is some midnight blue, and more blue. And I just kind of mix it all together to get, kind of showing you what I'm doing here. And then I want to stretch it all out on the canvas. Clean off the knife a little bit on it. And I just go across the knife like this, so I've got a little bit of a roll. I don't know if you can see that or not, but you can see that maybe a little bit better. Anyway, so I find out where I want to put my peaks. Let's say we're going to start right there. And then I kind of just push it in to the canvas how I want to do it. So then I go back into here, just take some more of it. And you just want to scrape this into the mountain, or into your canvas, and scrape it off. Your main thing is your top edge. That's what you want to be seeing. And then you're going to pull this paint down into it. So we're making a little bit of a mountain range here. Canvases are really strong. You don't have to worry about breaking through them or ripping through them. I've only done it a couple times where I've actually ripped it through, and that was just being kind of careless, but you just kind of want to shape your top edge because that's where you're building your mountain. Bring it down through here. Okay, so you can see how we kind of push it on here, and I'm scraping it down because I don't really want all this paint on here, because that's where I'm going to be putting my like snow highlights or dirt or whatever you want to do on there. Okay, so then what I do is I get I've got a 1-inch clean brush here, and I want to wiggle it up to the top and just kind of pull it out. So what I'm trying to do here is just get rid of the excess paint that's kind of underneath it and pushing it down into the paint. Just pull it straight down into your canvas. All right. Okay, and you don't have to worry about that too much in here. Like I said, we're going to be putting some white paint over it to make it look like there's snow on here. So, okay, so that's done. My brushes are getting full here. All right, just splashed myself. I hope everybody's doing good out there. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to clean up some of this darker color because I want to use this a little bit later. Just put it right here. You can see where my white was. I'm going to add some more white to my canvas. Let's see here. Try to grab white this time. And there's black again. Okay, let's put this over here. So look at that. There we go. Okay, now this is just titanium white, and you can get, there's different kind of brands you can get. They're all pretty much the same. But I will show you what I'm going to do here. Just take a rag and just wipe off the blue, the dark stuff I have on there in my hand. And then on my canvas here, I just have some white. Same kind of thing, I just want to stretch it out. Kind of like I did with the mountain color to make the blue. And then I go right across it again, like that. So you can see, hopefully you can see that. Okay, so anyway, I pick a peak up here and I just take this and I very lightly touch and pull it down. And what it does is the paint breaks off of my knife and gives you that mountain look. And the way that I'm having it is the sun is coming from this side. So I'm going to have it lighter on this side and I'll do some shadow colors on the back side of it. But I just show you what I'm doing here. Just kind of want to do a really quick one here so we can, as you can see, just pull it down and let the knife just come off, and the canvas will take what it needs and what it wants, and you can move it around, you can do different things with it. Put it where you want to have shadows coming down. Right. It's kind of different not having my brother playing music in the background. I was going to try to do that, but Alexa was giving me some issues today, so I don't know. She's having problems. But you can kind of see how you just rub the knife where you want to put, down here too, you just put. Looks like we got a bunch of snow coming on that side. Okay. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I got a bit of snow showing there so you can kind of see where you're going, and if I wanted to I can add like little things across it, so I'll do a little bit more here so you can see. Okay, and then what I want to do is I got some of this dark blue. I want to mix a little bit of that with my white so you can see that. A little bit more white. Okay, so this is kind of the color consistency I want, kind of a grayish color, and I'll show you what I'm going to do with that. So on the back side here, I'm just going to touch in. Just a little bit of shadow, it's called. That just gives it a little bit more realistic look. And if you have some spots that don't look like it's too dark, you put more white on it if you want to. Just wiggle your brush. And this takes a little bit of practice to learn too. It's not always as easy as it kind of looks, but once you start playing with it and practicing and notice little things you like to do to make them a little different, and it's kind of fun. So. A little bit more white coming in here. Okay. So one thing that I've noticed too, like when you're painting, you kind of want to try to have it in levels. Like, see, we have our sky back here, our mountains, and then in between here, before I start making any kind of forest or anything, I just want to make a little bit of a fog look. And the way that you do that is get another big brush. And you just kind of rub along the whole bottom of this here. And you can kind of see the result that it gives you, kind of like a fog look. And then you just kind of come back with it. And then what I like to do is try to follow the angles and just kind of brush up on it. And that kind of puts it into that a little bit. And if it's not enough, you just put some white on it. Just put white on the end of your brush and just go right over it again. You can kind of see how I can fog everything in here so it looks like there's mist at the bottom of the mountain. All right, so my next move, I gotta clean some brushes here. Just hang on with me for 1 second. I'm starting to get a brush overload here of dirt. And then I just use paint thinner and I brush them out really quick and then just dry them off really quick. That's how I do that. Yeah, when you have a clean brush, it makes it a lot easier to do anything, because you don't carry colors over from what you're doing into the painting, unless you want to do that. Sometimes it looks good and it's okay, but I like to have kind of clean brushes to work with. Almost done. You can see, just kind of clean them out and dry them off with a little bit of hit on them somewhere. It makes a mess, but it's still kind of fun. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add some trees, and what I want to do for the trees is I'm going to be using, let's use this brush here, a fan brush again, and I'll show you what I'm doing with the paint. Now I've got a soil green I'm going to put down there. And I'm going to add a little bit of black to it. Okay. So, just taking my knife here, I'll show you what I did on my palette. So this is like a sap green color. You can kind of see the green I'm thinking. And then there's a little bit of black. I'm just going to mix that together because I want to have like a kind of a dark green color. And the kind of trees I'm going to be making right now are evergreen trees, and they're simple and easy, and they look super cool. Let me show you what I'm going to do. Okay, got my fan brush, I got my paint, and I'm just going to load it into here. And we're going to start off in the distance here. I'm just going to go like this and just pick up a little bit of trees. It's so simple and easy on this way to do this, because these are distant trees anyway. And you can have them coming up the mountain a little bit. Change the brush around so you can make it look a little different. One thing you don't want to do is have it all consistently in a line. So on this side, you'll have it coming down, maybe a little bit in front of it. But you can kind of see how the trees are coming through on the background there. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of these 1-inch brushes that I cleaned. It's a 1-inch brush. And I got kind of like the little trees in the background. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a little bit of white on my brush and then run it through the green. I don't know if you can see that. So I got a little bit of a different green color here, and I'm just putting it on my 1-inch brush here, and I'm just going to run just some colors down into here, just so it looks like it's coming off the mountain into some hills. So like I said, this is a really quick and fast painting. I wanted to show you guys just some techniques that I do. I maybe go into a little bit of darker and just bring it down. You use the brush to make your different looks of hills and different things. And you can use different colors in green too. You could use like a blue. Blue goes good in the distance. Just wanted to show everybody kind of some of the technique here so you can see. Alright, kind of looks like some interesting hills back in there, I think. And there's still some fog and some mist in there, so it looks still kind of far away in distance. So, there we go. And everybody, when I'm done the painting, I'll turn it around so I can actually talk to you guys a little bit, and hopefully I can answer a few questions. And I apologize for not, I thought I was able to put Instagram on live here when I was running my, doing an Instagram live, but it doesn't seem to let me do that for some reason. And it could be because I keep getting pop-ups. I don't know what's going on. So that's another thing hopefully I'll fix. And I'm hoping this is recording too so I can repost it. But we shall see. Okay. So I think we got enough kind of color in there. You can see I'm just kind of building some land into here. So the next thing I want to do, I want to keep this brush here and use it. But I'm going to get some darker color, and I'm just going to fill in the corners here a little bit. So, what do we got here? Is this black? Yeah, I believe it is. Okay. You just kind of shape your land how you want to mush it in. This is just an undercolor, so you have something to kind of build on top of. And I appreciate all you guys coming and watching this and taking a look at what I'm doing. I'm like I said, when Paul's on, it's kind of fun, but because of their baby coming, I know he's really busy, so I thought I would try to do one. And I still have COVID right now too, so hopefully that goes away, and next week I probably sound funny talking too, so whatever. All these things. Okay, so I'm just gonna wash that again. Okay. Just clean off my knife and my brushes for just a little bit. Okay, so I still have my brush here, and I still have some dark and some green. So what I'm going to do, you can see how I build this up here. I want to put a big one right here. So you just come down and see how I build my trunk, and I take the corner and I just push up on my, and the paint comes out, and just like magic, we got a big tree in the corner. And you can see the texture on it. And if I don't like the top, I just add a little bit more to it. There we go. And you can't ever have a tree by itself, so I'm gonna build another one. Maybe another one here. Yeah, let's do that. And I'm gonna need to add some more paint here pretty soon too. I'm planning on putting quite a few trees, but you can kind of see how I put them in. And if you've seen me paint before, you've seen me do this as well. It's a pretty easy technique to do it. You just come in and dupe. But you can see how it kind of frames in your painting too, and it pushes the mountains back a little bit. So it's kind of a neat technique. I need to add a little bit more color here. So I'm adding some more green. And a little bit of black. Because once I have these trees in here, I'm going to highlight it with a little bit yellow, a lighter color, like a yellow color. So you can see I'm just have a bunch of paint here. Just running my brush through it. Let's see, I want that a little higher. You can just touch the top so you can make them look really realistic. And see in here, because I had the white mountains behind it, but you just go over top of it and then just bring it into your ground here. It doesn't matter, because then it looks like grass coming down anyway. So it's kind of a cool little technique. Bring that in. Okay. Put some on the other side here. Let's go, how about one right there? Okay, and you don't want to make them too much looking the same on the other side. So a lot of times people say to use odd numbers. So this one's going to have 5 on this side, it looks like, or whatever. But you just mush it into a bush. And then do. And you can see how the white, don't worry about the colors changes, just add over top of it. It's one thing that's amazing with oil paint is you can just keep going over things and changing things, and you can see, so we got the outsides there, and what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to put some little ones, and what I do is I take my brush this way and just kind of run them down. Some background trees, and then of course you want to have different colors and different ones, just to make different sizes, because you don't have them all the same. Okay, and what I did is, this is supposed to be kind of a water, so I'm going to show you something that's a pretty cool technique here. With a dry brush, so I got another 1-inch brush here, you can use a 2-inch or whatever. I'm going to make kind of a water line here, and I'm just going to pull it down into the water. So you can kind of see that I made a little bit of a shoreline. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean this brush a little bit again here. And you're okay for 1 sec. Yeah, if your brushes get too thick and dirty, you can't. Messy. All right. You just won't get the same technique that you want. Okay, so that's dry. This is dry. Okay. And what you do is, once you bring it down, is you just kind of go across the water like this. Just very lightly. And you can kind of see what it does. It gives you that kind of look of a reflection in your water. So I hope you can kind of see that. So that's what I did. Okay, so what I'm doing now is I'm just drying my hands off. Okay, I need to get, here's some brown sienna, or dark sienna. Okay, I've got a brown color here now. Just gonna add a little bit of brown to my palette here. You can see what I'm doing right there. And I'm good. Just got over my fingers here. Sometimes these lids aren't fun. All right. Okay, here we go. Okay, so with this brown, I'm just gonna bring it out like that with my knife again. And I'm just gonna cut like a little corner. And I'm gonna come back in through here. Just kind of make it look like some rock or some land. It's kind of in here. And then same with back here. So I want to make it look like we've got a little bit of a bank of some sort here. Same with this other side here. I'm just adding some brown color into it. So it looks like, there we go. And then we got that. And this knife, once you get used to playing with the knife a little bit, you can make some pretty cool colors and different things. Okay, so, man, I need some wet wipes. It's one thing with painting, you want to have like lots of paper towels and baby wipes and all sorts of goodies, because it gets all over the place. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is, I kind of jump around here, and I don't know. I've never been trained technically on this, so this is just stuff I learned to do. But I'm going to take some of this brown, some of this white that's up here, and just kind of mix it so it's a lighter brown. You see what I did there? Light brown. There we go. So you got a light brown color. I'm going to show you one little thing I like to do. So I'll take a little thing like this on, like another little roll. So here we go, nice little roll of it. And I just go up the trees. And it's making a little bit of a trunk in here. Little trunks. You can do that throughout the whole thing. Be careful when you do this, don't press super hard. I've actually put a knife right through a canvas before doing that. So, but you can kind of see, you can build so it looks like there's trunks in here. And you don't want to run it through the whole thing, like you can do it halfway through it. Sometimes I get a little bit crazy and put a lot of them in here. But they're just like little pieces of stumps and trees and sticks and whatever, because in the bushes you have all that anyway. Alright, and then another little trick I like to do is I'll take another 1-inch brush and I'll just, at the bottom here, I'll just kind of bring it up. So it looks like there is a bunch of trees, fills in the holes kind of, and makes it look like there's a bunch of other trees kind of in front of the shoreline there. So you got that. And then what I do too is sometimes I'll take my little edge of the knife and I just kind of scrape some little side branches coming off of. Oh, some of my neighbors are running off fireworks still. Okay, so I don't know if you'll be able to see this, very good, but with the knife like this, I just take the edge and I can add make it look like little arms are coming off these trees. Let's see if you can see it on this side a little bit. You don't need a whole bunch of them, just to give some texture that this tree has some branches and different things coming off of it. There. How about that? Okay. So I am going to look at my phone for a second. Hi everybody. Oh, I can't even see the comments on this silly phone, really. So frustrating. I'm sorry, I gotta have Instagram lessons or something here. But it looks like people are still seeing it. I hope you guys are enjoying this and able to see. There's my head, I'm saying hi. When it's done, I'll take it off, and I don't know if I can talk to you. I don't know. But I can't get my computer to work. But I really appreciate everybody coming on and watching. It's cool. Okay, where was I? Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to make a water line a little bit on the back side here. So it looks like there's water coming in. I got a little bit of white here. You can probably use more clean stuff, but it doesn't really matter. Like, there's nothing really pure white in snow anyway, or in nature. And then what I do is I go right across here and just let the knife take off what it wants to and throw on the canvas. And you can see now all of a sudden we have like a water line, so it gives it a little bit of action and movement in the water, so it looks like we've got something going on. So what I want to do here is I want to bring this down with a kind of a dark or a light green color, and this into here, have it come into the water a little bit, and then we'll have a couple more trees maybe coming up, just to give it a little bit more dimension and a few things to it to add to it. So let's see here. Just want to add a few more little branches. Okay, perfect. So what I'm going to do is get some yellow, and I still have a bunch of this green on my palette. See, so I got yellow and green. I'm just going to plop some yellow. There we go. And with the amount of green I have on there already and black, I should be able to come up with a pretty cool color, I'm thinking. So, take a 1-inch brush again, and then just go into see, you can see the colors that you get. It's sort of dark. Just add to whatever color you want to bring it. And this looks like it could be like a spring day or something, so let's make some, see if we can bring that up here. Okay, a little bit lighter maybe. There we go. And you just try to shape what you want to do with your brush. So you bring it in and you can kind of tap. And if there's little darks that show up, that's kind of cool because it adds different dimensions to it. And I want to show you how I highlight the trees after this too. So, okay, so we got that in there. Let's go back on this side and do kind of the same thing. That way it's different color than it is back there, and as you move forward, you can see there's probably rocks or twigs or whatever's growing in here. But this is like your foregrass here, and these are coming down to the front, or you can fill that whole thing right in if you wanted to. Yeah, maybe we won't. I don't know. We'll see. But if you can, like, you can do different things here and have it look like there's little branches coming up, little bushes, all sorts of little things going on in there. So I am going to clean my brush out again here. Did you ever watch Bob Ross or any of these painters that are on YouTube or anything? They're always cleaning their brushes, and there's a reason for that. Because they get really full and really dirty, and you can't paint with them, and then you just make mud on your canvas. It's kind of funny how that works. Everything looks muddy and dirty. Like you can see the browns and greens mixing, and it's not very vibrant, but that's because I wanted kind of a darker color. But we will just wash out a couple here and there. And if you're wondering what I'm doing, I've got a garbage can with a little grating inside of it, and I just beat it up. But it cleans it out. It doesn't get all over the place, but it still does. But it's not as bad as it could be, I guess. Okay. There we go. Kind of dry. Good. Let's get a dry paper towel really quick. Okay. Yeah, so I'm hoping you guys are able to follow along with this a little bit and kind of see what I'm doing. Miss having my brother on with me though, because that's always fun listening to him and painting. But if you guys like these, I'll try to see if I can get this a little bit more professional and working so I can actually do it and live and talk to people a little bit. That's my goal. We'll see what we can come up with. Okay, so now that I've got these brushes kind of clean, what I want to do is I want to make a highlight color for these high spruce trees here. So what I'm going to do is get some more yellow, and let's see, I don't want fairy green. There's sap green. Okay, I'm just going to add some yellow and some more green. I want it to be a little bit different color than the grass is, so I'm going to start off with a little bit of just normal green on it, so you can see, or yellow, I'm sorry, so you can see I did the yellow here. So I'm just tapping in some yellow into my brush. Let's see, how does this look? Well, I guess that's not too bad. And I just want to highlight it in a few spots so it looks like the sun's kind of hitting it. And as I add more green, you can see how the color changes it a little, but that's okay because I'm just putting little touches of color in here just to give it a little bit of spice, like sunshine's coming through it. I'll do some of these ones here too. Here we go. And then when the painting dries, it looks just a little bit more realistic, a little bit more three-dimensional when you have these kind of things in it. And again, you know, there's some spots on here that I have that are not quite dark enough. You can just go back in here and retouch them. See, my paint's getting kind of wet. So what I'll do a lot of times when I do a painting is I'll let it dry for a little bit and I'll come back and I'll just do a few little things to it and touch them up and add things that I feel need to be on it. That's the nice thing about oil paint too, is you can kind of add layers to your paintings, so it's not, you know, and I know I'm trying to do this fast because we, you know, try to keep this around an hour, but I don't know, when it dries I usually come back and just touch little things that I want to change and make a little different. So, and see, with my knife I can add little bushes in here, just little things you can scrape in. Just gives a little bit of different tones and different things. Okay, so what I want to do, I think it looks pretty good, but I think I'm just going to add a couple more trees just in here. So I'm going to get some dark color. Let's see here. Just because I like making trees. Okay. I have a little one here, and they're great practice to do these too. They go in so easy and fun, and they look so good when you're done with them. They're kind of fun to play with. So put another one here. And you can see how I got it. It's kind of really dark in here. So that's another thing too. What you want to do is try to, when you have dark, have light on top of it. So you can see with this one here, just coming over top of the water, I have the light blue behind it. It just makes it pop. And I just did this one kind of out of my head like I usually do. But, you know, just add trees or branches or whatever you want to wherever it is. And see, for me, because I've got so much dark and so much green here, what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to add an old wood tree on each side really quick. And I'll show you how to do that, and I can make it a birch tree. Now this is kind of a little bit risky, but let's do it. Okay, so what I do is, here's a little bit of brown. This is a filbert brush I've got here. I got a little bit of paint there on it because I don't want it really thick. And I'm just doing this so I can see where I'm going to put my tree. So I'm going to run this tree out here. There we go. It's a crooked old gnarly one. I'm going to have a branch coming off there. And a little skinnier there. Okay. So I don't know if you can see that or not, but I'm going to do it on this side too. Have that one kind of more straight. There we go. And one thing about oil painting too that you can do is you can take, if you have too much paint on your canvas, you can actually wipe parts of it off and you can go over top of it. Like if I don't like, I'll show you really quick here. I don't like this corner. I hope you can see me. You can just take some shop towel or paper towel and you can just wipe, if you have too much oil on it, you can just kind of wipe it off and blend it in. Just so you can, just to give you an idea. See, like I said, we're trying to do this really quick so you guys can kind of see just a quick one. But in the future, like you can take your time and do these, and hopefully you can get to the point where you can actually watch these and you go back and forth and whatever you'd like to do to watch them. So anyway, okay, so you can kind of see my dark ones in there. I think you can see what I did. I'm going to take some white on my canvas. Okay, I'll show you here again. See how messy these get? So here's the white I just put down, and I'm going to just, I don't care if it's kind of dirty looking. Don't really want yellow in it, but get some white, maybe a little bit of brown, just to kind of give it an off brown color. You see that? Because remember I said it's really dark here, and I want to kind of have something pop out in front. So what I do is I do a little bit of a white thing on it, like a little roll, and then I just come on here, and I just go bloop. Gotta make the sound effects too. Bloop. That's what makes it work. And you can see how I kind of just touch the tree and bring it down. There. So then you got a tree coming in. So that's kind of your bark. And you can use different colors of, you know, different shades, different whatever. But using this knife, it works so good because you can kind of just walk it all the way up, and it gives a really unique, kind of like a birch tree look. There we go. See, I've got this one kind of coming down. All right, and then what I do is I've got a liner brush, it's called, and I get it wet with some paint thinner. And I put some paint thinner in here already so I can make it brown. I think you can see what I'm doing here. So then I've got a long, runny jigger there, so you can bring it and you can run it down your tree and make branches. Have them come down across. Put them wherever you feel like you'd want them to be. It has many limbs and different things. You just keep adding a little bit. Have them coming across, have them going over top. And it'll pick up some of the white, so it'll make it look really pretty authentic and cool looking. So, and just add a little bit more thinner if it's not running really good for you, and then just come back on it. And this might be a little bit hard to see. Let me see if I can get a little darker color. So you can kind of, like when this dries, you'll be able to see all the branches and stuff coming off of it a lot better. But one thing that's nice about doing these kind of paintings is you go out into nature And there's all this stuff all the time happening where they're just branches hanging out and doing whatever. There. So you can kind of see what I did there. And one thing that's nice about having a tree there, it kind of pushes everything more further back into the background as well. So and you can add some little more twigs in here if you want. Have it coming off of there. You can just play around with it, but hopefully you guys can see what I was doing with this, so you can just makes it a little bit more lively. You know, you can even have some coming into here. And then what I do is, because I wipe this off to show you, I'll just get some more color on my fan brush here, and I just kind of tap the bottom of the tree here so that it looks like there's trees or grass growing around it. So you can see that. Same with this one here. Just make a little grass. And I'm just using a fan brush and just pushing it in so it gives it some grass look, and just add it wherever you want to. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I think, you know what I'm going to do really quick? Why not? I'm going to set one more quick tree right over here. Just because I think this he needs a friend. There. So I lay that down and just clean this knife off really quick. I fill up my garbage can pretty quick with this stuff here. Okay, so here we'll do one more tree going up here. And this knife is so fun to use. If you just get it up here, and because nature is so never really straight anyway, you get so forgiving and fun there. I just put a tree in, and it took me nothing to do it. You know, I'll put a little bigger branch coming off of here. And if you mess up, you just paint over it. It's pretty easy. Where did I put there it is. Okay, so I got my liner brush here. Again, this is a long liner brush too, but you can see, just kind of bring it in and just have some branches coming off. Perfect. Coming down. And when you have time to do this by yourself, it's pretty easy and fun. You just take your time and just mess around with it and do it. But you can see, just to get an idea of sort of what we can do. And if I can do some more of these instructional ones, if you guys like them, I'll work on getting a little bit more professional with it too. But it's just me practicing here and just trying to get it together. And I love doing it with my brother too, because it's just kind of fun to listen to him. And I don't know if he was going to try to come on here or not, but I can't even I can't even see comments. So I might be just talking to myself right now too. I don't know. Hopefully not. I hope it recorded so I can see. I think I did it right. But okay, I think that's pretty much done. And you always want to try to sign your paintings. That's one thing I always forget to do, but I'm trying to learn how to keep doing it more. And the way to do that is I got another little liner brush, and you want to try to use some colors that you have on your palette, and you sign it down. I think I'm just going to use this white birch color here, and maybe a little bit of dark, just to get a color. I think I'll sign it right here. Let's see how this looks. Yeah, that's okay, I guess. This paint's pretty wet, so that might not be the best. Where is my little brush that I use usually? I've got so many brushes here, everybody, it's crazy. I just keep buying new ones. New ones to try out and learn different things, but okay, try this again here. And if I can't sign it, we'll just color quits for now and I'll sign it later. It just gets pretty. And that's the thing too, see how I don't really like how this is going in here? It's a little bit wet, so all you have to do is mush in the paint. And you can make it look like it's supposed to be like that, you know? Just, you don't like something, you just kind of mush it in. That's what's awesome about this kind of painting, because I am not a perfectionist at all, but I like to fix my mistakes and when I do, I just do this and see, all of a sudden I got some more grass. Easy peasy.